The doctor says, hey, listen, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm like, cool, whatever. So I'm laying there on the table, naked from the waist down. Nurse comes in and says, do you remember me? I was like, oh my God. I said, no. She's like, yeah, we were in your friend Troy's wedding party together. I was like, oh, good to see you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Arlene is Alone, but today I am alone with my good friend, Kardinal Offishall.
Ah, yes. Alone with Kardinal. That's what my wife says.
Is that an ongoing complaint that she is alone with you?
Oh my goodness. Well, it depends on what night in our bedroom, but yes. 20 plus years of being alone with Jason. That's what she would say.
Is that your real name, Jason?
It is, but rest in peace. The only person that really used to call me that is my grandmother that recently passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, listen, 97 beautiful years of life.
Wow.
Yeah. She was very strong. And I was going to say up until the last couple of years, like she was one of those people in her 90s, gardening and cooking and church and doing all the things. So bittersweet.
Yeah.
Bittersweet. I have a lot of characters in my family.
Okay.
A lot.
Do tell.
We balance the grief with the joy. You know what I'm saying? We always try and find a way to see the beauty and see the humor in most of what we do. And I think for me, it's way important because the entertainment industry is the worst, but it's a lot of fun if you can somehow build up a force field of great energy around you.
I've heard that from a lot of my friends who are musicians, that it's a very difficult, or entertainers in general. I mean, I know from the television world, it can be, it's so not what everybody thinks it is, right? And there's just so much pressure and there's so much backstabbing and so much kind of, it can be really difficult. But is it worse in the musical?
Well, you know what's interesting is that TV was kind of a relief for me. Like that's
interesting.
It is pressure, but in a different way, like in a way that was exciting to me. Because music, a lot of times at this point in time, in a great way, can be, for me, muscle memory.
Right.
Like the challenge is when you're in studio creating, but even that is fun. But all the other stuff is kind of plug and play at this point. Whereas TV, for me, like I loved having Howie mentor me, like, you know what I'm saying, the first day in and first season and second season, be able to sit with like a vet like him and be able to say, no, Cardi, like you're killing it. Like we need your energy. We need your vibe on screen. You know what I'm saying? And not one of those ones where he's just like gassing me to like make me feel better. You know what I mean? Because Howie's also, people don't know behind the scenes. He'll tell you, he'll be like, that was trash.
Yeah.
You know, but having relationships like that are so important for me because it helps me to navigate unfamiliar territory. And I think for me, on the music side, you can rely heavily upon, if you're with a live band, like, you know what I mean? That's 4 or 5 personalities that are working together with you to create this experience. Even if it's a scaled down thing, you still might have a backup vocalist and a DJ, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to TV, it's really just what you can bring. And I think that's why it's so important for me to really be thankful to have had those conversations and those experiences that I did with Howie, because it was super valuable to me. And in a place where, had it been a different circumstance, it would have been all that backbiting and backstabbing and all that crazy stuff that I hear about. But I'm super thankful that my experience in TV so far has been incredible.
Well, I mean, you make me pause, because I think that what you just said, when I think about my experience, over 20 years of being on television, I feel I have had the same kind of relationship with people who actually care about whether you're going to they want you to look good. They don't want to make you look bad. They want you, especially when you're on a cast like you're on, and same with Dragon's Den, you're not on there to have somebody make you look bad. So you need mentorship. You need people who want to have a relationship with you, on and off screen. But I got to tell you, Cardinal, like you have, I'm not going to call you Jason, but I really want to. I really want to. I want to be like, okay, Jason.
Whatever you feel comfortable
No,
with.
I'm going to.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
But no, when I think about, you have that thing, and I'm sure
I went to the doctor to try and clear that up.
Did you? And is the medication helping at all?
Clearly not.
It's clearly not helping. Like, I mean, there's hope. There's research going on. I'm sure they'll figure it out one day what's going on with you. But for you, like, you've got this. First of all, you have a charisma. The first time I met you, you had the white. I had the white streak. You had the white streak. Do you remember?
The Raptors game.
That's right.
That's when we were courtside.
That's
yes,
right.
I do remember. Right. I do remember. That's right.
I was so struck by your charisma. You have, I mean, listen, you have to have charisma to be a good artist. I think you have to have stage presence. Sure, you have to have good music. Absolutely. But you have it, a lot of people don't have it in person too. They turn it on when the screen is on. But you have it, like, you genuinely have this, like, you're effusive, you have the big laugh, you have like a good presence. Like, honestly, are you starting to get is your head getting big?
No, not at all. More. No,
yeah. No, but you do.
You know what? Let me sorry to cut you. Let me give you an example, or where I think that came from, or at least when I knew it was a superpower. So Mr. Morgan's currently the president of Drake's record label, of OVO. We used to all work together. And I remember we used to go into these meetings back in the day, and Mr. Morgan, he would just say, all right, we're about to go into this meeting and meet such and such. Make sure you do the Cardi thing. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, don't worry about it. And we'd go into the meeting, and I'm like,
just being you.
Just being myself. And we'd come out, he'd be like, amazing, you killed it. I was like, all right. And I think at the end of the day, what it is I learned from professionally, I learned from a younger age that whatever this is, and I try and mentor, younger artists, younger execs, whatever, is that this thing that I have, I know nobody else has it. And I've always been taught, and I try to teach others, that, like, if there's a plate of food that somebody has, and it's like, it's full of food, they don't need what you have. They're like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I have all the things. So stop, don't try and add to their already full plate. You got to see what they do not have. You know what I'm saying? And if we parallel that to energy or vibes or whatever you can contribute, I think for me, I know when I walk into the room, it's one of those ones where I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be boisterous. I'm going to be energetic. And, 80% of the people, I think, enjoy it. There are 20% of the people that I feel are kind of insecure, that
intimidated by it.
That are intimidated by it. But, the funny thing is, it's like I'm one of the least, or I think I am one of the least most intimidating people in a room, unless I have to be. So unless there is something where I'm like, listen, Arlene, we're going to war. When we go in there, we got a mission, and we got to let them know. And we go and we do our thing. That's something different. But most of the time, I am in a place to have the most fun that I can every single day. Every single day. Because especially this year's been rough. A lot of deaths, a lot of people passing away. But I think what I've been taking from that is to even more enjoy every opportunity that I have. The other thing is, it's like, listen, I'm turning 50 in just under a year. And it's like, there are so many people that I started with that are not doing the things that they love in life, and able to pay their mortgage, able to support their family, and able to bring them, some kind of joy and really just like live out their passion and their purpose every day. So it's like, for me, that's why I am this way, because I think any other way is me not living in gratitude.
Yeah.
There's some family relationships that I had that were the worst. Like never talking to that person ever again in life. Like, I mean, ever. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But over the years, therapy and mentorship have also helped. Because once you have those tools, then you also realize, I'm like, oh, that person actually just needed a hug.
Yeah.
That person just actually needed me to, you know, pick
Meet
up
them where they were. Sorry to interrupt
not necessarily.
No? Okay.
No.
Tell me.
Some, like, what it is that sometimes people don't realize that it's misdirected energy that they have. Some people are not happy with themselves and they start to have this outward thing to where it's like, instead of working on what's happening really inside their body, mind, spirit, so physically, emotionally, spiritually, all that stuff, they start to lash out. And I think what it is that when you when you start to work on yourself, you do the shadow work, you do this, you do that, and you start to have those tools, you start to see it in other people. And sometimes, I didn't love it at first, but sometimes, in layman's terms, you have to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll leave their name out of it. But the thing is, we have a fantastic relationship right now. I remember there was a family member and we hadn't seen eye to eye in years. And at the time, I think I was justified in terms of being able to say, hey, listen, boundaries, I'm not interested in communicating with that person. But I remember I called her at like, I don't know, maybe 7 a.m. in the morning and she was sleeping. And remember, we're not on good terms at all. And I said, listen, I love you. And I'm not really sure of where this came from, like what happened. But I said, you know, I love you. And I really want for us to be able to, whatever that mess was, to put it behind us and move forward and to really build something awesome, because I would prefer that that's what the rest of our lives look like moving forward. And I remember there wasn't an argument, there wasn't a comment. She was like, I would like that. And from then, we've been good. But here's the thing, had I not taken that step to say, and this is my arch enemy.
Yeah.
But something in me said, you know what? I'm gonna call and I'm gonna do this thing. The funny thing is, the more we do the work on ourselves, the more it actually benefits everybody that's in our lives.
I find that, like, I think that's deeply true. I think you have to, in order to have the courage to pick up that phone to call her, you had to be confident and able to say to yourself, if she rejects me, I'm okay.
That's right.
If she says, great, I'm okay.
That's right.
Either way, I've done everything I can do. And that's hard. It is hard to pick up that phone now.
Hard. Listen, I'm a Taurus, born May 11th. I always tell people, like, being a Taurus, it's strength of the bull.
Yep.
But if you know a bull, it is also that we are the most stubborn folks out there.
Yeah.
So for somebody like me to, like, you know, come all that way and be able to, you know, get to this point where I really do feel like, you know, I have, you ever see on construction sites, those guys with the tool belts and they got like 50 keys over here and they're able to do all the things. Like, that's what I feel like in terms of like emotional intelligence and being able to really express myself the way that I would like to, and also not taking everything personal.
Yeah, it's hard. That comes with age too, I think. I think as you get older and you start to realize that things aren't fatal when, you know, somebody says something or thinks something or does something, and you start to become more in tune with what makes you happy. I think age helps. Don't you think?
Well, let me add this layer to our lasagna here. Culturally, Caribbean people are old school. They are stubborn. They're stuck in their ways. And the things that my generation, me and my cousins all the time, we're so thankful we are breaking the cycle. There's a lot of elders that I have that passed away up until just last weekend, a few days before I came here to talk to you. They die with trauma. They die with...
Yeah, they hold on to it.
They hold on to the trauma. They hold on to the triggers. They're not interested in changing their ways. And I think for my generation right now, sometimes it's extremely difficult because we are hyper aware of what's happening, and we actually try and introduce some of our learnings to the older generation. They're just it's just something that they're not okay with. And I think Jamaicans especially, pride is a big thing. Shame is a big thing. We laugh, like one of the biggest things that fuel us growing up was to not shame anybody in our family. Like that's a
Bad
big
thing.
big, oh man. Oh, listen, nobody shame we. Like you can't go. Listen, you see these socks?
Yep.
Brand new socks. There's a reason, because heaven forbid you have to go in an ambulance. Do not have socks with a hole in it.
So you have brand new underwear.
Brand new underwear. Do not go to the hospital and you're there in some tattered old, your favorite pair of underwear. Like, no, like, listen, the houses are clean because they should be clean, but also don't shame me if somebody comes to the front door and the whole house is dirty. Like, that's just, it's a part of the culture. So I think here's an interesting conversation that I'd like to have people kind of understand. Like, when I walk outside, you can't hide this. You know what I mean? You can't put it away. And that's not to lessen anybody's experience, but sometimes when it comes to what your religious beliefs are, there are ways that even if you don't want to, you can hide it if you so choose. If you feel that wearing a specific item or garb is going to have you facing persecution, obviously there's going to be this pull between, I should be able to do whatever, but worst case scenario, you can hide it. You can't tell somebody's religion based on how they look. But the thing is, like, I walk into the room all the time and, like, yeah, sure, I have a wife and 3 kids, but if you didn't know that, you wouldn't know what my sexual preference is. And that's the thing, is it's like I still have that choice of letting you know or not.
Right.
I was watching the Luther Vandross documentary, and it doesn't matter if I think he was gay or not. He literally said, I'm never going to say it out loud because it's my business.
It's a great documentary.
Fantastic documentary. And I think what it is that people don't understand what it's like to be not just Black. Like, there's different versions of it. To be Black, to be Asian, to be, whatever it is, Middle Eastern. You walk outside, and I'm not saying that we walk outside and it's gloom and doom.
No.
But what I'm saying is that, like, especially for me, being a 6'4" Black guy, noisy chains, whatever the scenario is, the reality is that my mom had to have the talk with me when I was younger to say, listen, because of so many factors, because of what people see on TV, movies, the news, rumors, whatever it is, or even some people bringing what they think they know of people from other places, whatever it is, what your grandparents' experience was passed down. Yeah. There's so many different factors as to why people are going to be judged. Something that I don't think that you or a lot of your relatives would ever have to worry about is like what happened to like a Trayvon Martin.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Having a hoodie on, doing whatever.
Doing nothing.
It's like, listen, with my boys are fantastic. They go to private school, straight A's, whatever. Thank God we are doing well, so they've never been hungry. But if we go into a store, guys, hands out of your pocket. Take your hoodie off.
Yeah.
Not because they're bad kids at all, but because that's the way society is.
It's so ridiculously wrong.
I know.
It's that's why I asked about having the weight of it, because I honestly struggle to imagine it, because I can say I've experienced prejudice as a female. Sure, I can talk about that
Of
all day
course,
long and
yeah.
say, I've been the only one. That is nothing compared to what you just expressed. Like I sometimes, yes, you could be afraid to walk out on the street because there are, sexual predators out there. There are people that would, abuse and take
That's
advantage of you. So certainly there are challenges that are gender related. But I think about the trans community right now. I think what they're going through. But I, in particular, because I'm South African and I have, I feel like I was raised to just everybody is equal. I honestly I was probably the unusual white family in South Africa that was raised to believe that everybody was equal. But my dad, he insisted that we think about people as people. He said, you never see somebody's color or religion or race. Like, you never see that first. You see the person. And I can honestly tell, and so I struggle with. I look at what's going on in the States with ICE. Like, what the actual hell? Like, talking about being afraid of walking out your door. And it's targeting, the Hispanics, the Blacks, the Latinos, the Asians. It's the immigrants who really aren't immigrants, they're newcomers to the country. It's just all, it's so
what's
awful.
there's so many levels to that, and it's very. Like, I performed for Nelson Mandela when I was a kid. Like, when he came here, I think he did 2 appearances, and one of them, the group that I was in at the time, the first name of the group was called Young Black Panthers, and they're like, it might be a little bit
maybe on the edge.
They're like, you guys are 13. I don't know if so we changed it to Young Black and Positive.
Okay.
But we were chosen. We won a contest, and we were able to perform for Nelson, and he was still with Winnie at the time.
Wow.
And I've shout out to Nando's. I was able to visit South Africa for the first time with Nando's some years back, and even that was a very interesting experience I found for myself, because I found myself in. Again, like, there's classism, there's so many layers. Like, I found myself, we were traveling first class and yada, yada, yada. But I thought it was so interesting being in places in South Africa where the white South Africans looked at me like, what are you doing here? That screwed my mind up. Because I was like, oh yeah, oh yes.
Isn't it, what are they doing there?
Well, this is the thing that I didn't understand, because, when you go to the continent, the same way, like, listen, when I go to Europe, I'm like, yeah, sure, now Europe looks very different. But traditionally or historically, when you think about Europe, European folks look a certain way.
Right.
When you think about the continent of Africa, you're like, who are the major inhabitants of that place. So again, this just goes back to some of the stuff that we were talking about. Even though it is South Africa and it's within the continent, because I am somebody who has worked very hard and able to travel a certain way or be in certain rooms, there's people that would make you think that you don't belong in those rooms. And I think for South Africa, it meant a lot to me, because growing up, even over here, I remember, people singing and speaking out about apartheid and Sun City. And when we're talking about, present day North America, and it's like, it's so weird. Like, it feels like we're going back to the 60s. Like, to me, it's absolute. I was in Chicago when I think either the first or second weekend of that whole ICE mess in Chicago. And like, the reality is, I had to be just very aware, knowing that, I had my passport on me at all times, but I don't even know if that would have mattered per se. Like, the same way that as a man, I will never know what it's like. And, my mom has told me several times that, like, she raised us, myself and my sister, differently. She had to have specific talks that were applicable, for my sister and for women, and things that I was not aware of as a man. She's like, yeah, you would never know what it's like to be in certain situations, and you can't go in another room that's not with a lot of people. You can't walk down that dark alley. You can't there's all these different things that I wasn't aware of, until I educated myself or until somebody told me about it. And I think in many ways that's very similar, that like that Black experience is the same. Shout out to my good friend Ozzy. About management's changed since then, but I had a management team where South Asian, white, whatever, mix of people, but we'd have a similar conversation like this, and you'd say it, and then it's much different when Ozzy like saw it play out in real life, and she's like, "Oh my God," and like her face would go absolutely red, and she'd be almost apologetic, and I'm like, "It's what my world is."
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those ones where it's like, you can be just anybody out here, anybody in society. You could literally go your entire life and never be up close and personal with it, depending on what your friends and family circle is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, listen, I think these types of conversations are increasingly important because we are going backwards in so many ways.
Feels like it.
And if we don't talk about it and have it be clear and obvious to people will it will get like the whole DEI initiatives getting kind of swept away, the whole idea of diversity being unimportant, or because it's all about meritocracy. Well, yeah, it's about meritocracy, and it's about equal opportunity for anyone, whether, no matter who you are, right? So I love that you. I mean, thanks for sharing that, because I think it's really an important conversation. I think we could talk about that for quite some time. But
Can I put a bow on it? That's something that I think that your viewers would really love, or I would hope that they would love.
Yeah.
There's people say, and it we don't even think about it sometimes. People say, I don't see color, but I always encourage people to see color.
To see color.
I want you to see our differences, but our differences are not supposed to drive us apart.
Right.
Here's the thing. We've known each other for years, but either I forgot or I never knew that you came from South Africa.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's interesting, because it's like, I want to learn about what it was like. I want to learn about things that you did. And I think it should be vice versa. I think bigotry, prejudice, racism, sexism, classism, a lot of these things are because of ignorance and a lack of education.
Yes.
And I think the more that we do have these conversations and we do see color, we do see beliefs, we do see all these different things, and we actually learn and say, I never knew that. That's incredible.
And that's that asking the question, having the conversation, and not shying away from, because I think people don't ask because they don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to ask the wrong way. You don't want to say something you shouldn't. But we should have another conversation. One day I'll tell you about my trip to South Africa, where my white relatives took me to Sun City. And I'll tell you all about that, because that is a whole other conversation about, I can't even, what it did to me in terms of how it framed my understanding of, white and Black South Africans was very profound.
Wow.
So we'll talk about that at some point. But
okay.
I want to, you've got so much going on right now, Cardinal. You've got a new EP coming out.
Yes.
What's it called?
Every Day Sometimes.
Every Day Sometimes. And what's the song about?
Well, what it is it's like, if you called me and they're like, Cardi, you been in the gym? Yeah, every day, sometimes.
I love that. I'm going to use that.
It's kind of, you know what? It's kind of like Alone with Arlene. It's the same kind of thing.
I love that. Every day, sometimes.
That's right. Yeah. Oh man, you've been sticking to your diet every day, sometimes. So I think,
That's great.
As we spoke about earlier, I like to have fun. But the other thing is that musically, I'm not always in the same mood. So it's like there's some days when I'm super hyper and I create super hyper energetic music that you want to work out to. But then there are some days when it's like I might be inspired by Bob Marley to want to do a reggae song today.
Yep.
So it's like, yo, you're doing a
Creativity.
into reggae, yeah, every day sometimes. You know, and that's really what that whole that's what that whole project is about.
Get his new album when it's out, or his EP.
Soon, coming
they don't say
soon.
album anymore, do they? They say EP.
You know, it really depends. It's all a bunch of whatever. At this point in time, like whenever the music is out
Stream
there,
the song.
we're just happy if you stream it.
Yes,
So,
stream the songs. Okay,
Yeah.
you're doing that.
Mhm.
You actually, and I've been like looking at you because I mean, first of all, you're very handsome, but look at the glasses.
Hold on a
everybody.
second. I just want to look at the camera so my wife can hear that.
Jason. Jason?
Yes.
It's just, I can't see you as Jason. I want to be like your mom. Jason, you need to get to your room right now.
Oh my
But wait.
gosh.
The glasses. Everybody, look at the glasses.
Oh yes.
Tell us about your glass line.
Yes. So shout out to my good friend Odin Capella. This is these glasses. There are actually 4 different silhouettes. This is one of 4.
Can I see them?
Of course you can. Hold on a second. I told you about shame. I just have to make sure they're not filthy.
Make sure they're clean.
Listen, I don't need for anybody to yell at me. Make sure I clean your glasses before you give Miss Arlene. Or you could give her the dirty glasses. There you go.
Okay. All right. What do you think? Are they me?
Oh.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now here's the tagline. They look good on everybody.
There you go. So, new glass line. Where can people buy those?
You know, if you know me, I'll be very vocal. So just follow me at Cardinal, all the stuff, Instagram, X, YouTube, and when it comes, you'll see it. But
You'll see
yeah,
it.
this
Okay.
is due out in spring of 2026.
Oh, very cool. They're very nice.
Thank
I'm
you.
a very picky sunglass person. And then and you're also got a barber shop, which actually doesn't surprise me. The barber shop does not surprise me because can you see his hair right now? Can you
And
look
this,
at
to
his-
be honest, I need a
lid?
re-dye and a little fix
what
up.
is it?
But
It's like is it a leaf?
so it's a crown.
It's
Yes,
a crown.
it's a crown. But because I'm 6'4", most people can't see on top of my head unless I'm sitting down. But yes, so shout out to my partner Moots.
Yeah.
Moots is one of my favorite barbers in the world, and I think actually nobody loves hair more than him. But I've always, while I still have it, my hairline is still intact. I still do crazy stuff. So I always tell people, as long as I have hair, I'm just going to do all the wackiest things. And anyways, we built upstairs chairs. It is beautiful. It's an awesome spot. And, besides going to get the most amazing haircuts there, we're also going to do some cool initiatives to where, like, we're going to do first Sundays to where on the first Sunday of every month, we're going to offer up free haircuts to people from underserved communities,
Oh, that's great.
things like that. So we really want to make it a place where, yes, people get their haircut, but also where people come there and they leave feeling better about themselves, but also knowing that they're contributing to a place that is going to contribute back into the community as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you do the whole like hot towel and steam and like the shaving cream and is that part of it, or is it more just?
So let me tell you something. I do it, but the thing is that nobody wants it from me. So
Not you. I meant does the barber shop do? I don't think I'd want you with a straight razor.
This is the thing. I approach people with the hot towel and the razor, and
They say no.
People ran out of the chair. They refused me. I don't know what it is about me, why they don't want to receive it from me, but yeah.
Maybe that's what we actually had that in common, because I've done I think I've done everything with my hair too. I've been red, I've been blonde, I've been gray, I've had curly
What's
hair,
your
I've had
favorite,
straight
though?
hair. I don't know. I kind of like it all. I've had
Okay.
long, short. I think hair it's one of those things that if it becomes how if you identify with it's got to be a certain way all the time, then I think it's restrictive. So
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it being a creative part of me.
Mhm.
I'm sure there are people who will tell me it looks better when it's shorter, it looks better when it's
Right,
curly or whatever.
right.
I actually just do it for me, and when I get bored, I say, "Oh, let's try this now." And,
That is absolutely me.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Hence
So
the random crown.
it's probably the only thing we have in common, actually. I mean, I don't know. You're way cooler than I am. Like, let's not kid ourselves. There's
Listen.
cool, there's Cardinal, and then there's Arlene. down here.
First and
Cool
foremost, I
levels
don't know
are
if
far
this
apart.
tracksuit comes in a
You like it?
2X, but listen, that is a very cool tracksuit.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
When you grow up in the neighborhood and you have something that is really dope, people will say, "Hey, what size is that?"
because I want to take it from you.
That's right. But, you know, with you, I didn't have to ask because I'm like, well, it's not going to fit me, so don't ask.
All right. You know, one of the things we haven't talked about is, and I just want to, you know, we don't want to spend a lot of time, but as much time as you want to spend. How'd you meet your wife?
Oh, man. I met my wife through that same family member that I couldn't stand.
Oh. so you owed her one.
Yes. She is in a lot of ways responsible for the life that I have right now. So,
how many years ago was that?
Might have been early 2001. Only reason I say that is because when 9/11 happened, she was supposed to be on she went to Howard University at the time. She was supposed to be on a class excursion to the Pentagon.
Yeah.
So when the Pentagon was hit, I spent the whole day trying to get a hold of her because, you know, but at that time we were just good friends. So 2001 is when we...
24 years ago, 25 years ago.
25 years next year, Jesus.
And you've got three kids?
Yes, I do. I got 3 kids. One's about to be 14, one just turned 12, and my daughter is 9.5 going on 36.
We all have one of those. And the more kids you have, the more there's always drama. It's always going to be drama.
Without all the information, no more kids will be happening. So
something happened, but we're not going to talk about it.
You know, just put it this way: there were frozen peas involved, and
does that work? Like the frozen pea thing, I've always, you know, like
it works.
It helps, does it? It helps. Not that I'll have to experience.
I'll give you an amazing story in 20 seconds. When I went to go have the procedure done, it's fantastic because nowadays, for all the men out there, I suggest you be responsible. Don't put it on your wife to tie the tubes or whatever. So I went. It's a laser thing. It's done in 10 minutes. Cool, no problem. So what do you think is the biggest thing that people are afraid of when they have these procedures? What do you think the biggest thing is?
There's 2 things that immediately came to mind.
Yep.
One is, can they have an erection after, or it's right away? And the other one is, can they pee?
So,
those are
nothing to do with that.
Oh.
10 times more embarrassing.
What? I can't even imagine.
So I'm there, and from the waist down, I'm naked, but it's just me and the doctor. The doctor says, hey, listen, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm like, cool, whatever. So I'm laying there on the table, naked from the waist down. Nurse comes in and says, do you remember me? I was like, oh my God. I said, no. She's like, yeah, we were in your friend Troy's wedding party together. I was like, oh, good to see you.
I thought you were going to say you dated, which might have been even worse.
Oh, that would have been fine. That would have been fine.
You would have seen it before.
But that's just one of those ones. It's like, you know, for a man, like you're there vulnerable, you're just there just with your business out, and somebody, and you know, it's professional, but at the same time, it's like, remember we were in that wedding together the other day. I was like, oh.
You know, I'm trying to gather up some sense of, feeling for you. But as a woman who has visited many gynecologists, you have nothing on us. Okay, you have nothing on what.
But has that ever happened to where a man walked in and was like, Arlene?
And on that note, I'm not going to answer that question. You look familiar. Sorry. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So anyhow, you're a complete joy to talk to. You are a force.
I'm a maniac, is what I am.
No, I 100% loved every minute of our conversation. You are.
Me too.
You're just like, you're so open, and you shared so much, and I really, really, really appreciate you.
I may have shared too much.
No, you didn't. Well, maybe. I mean, we all had a mental image. I'm not going to lie. There was something that went through my mind.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Anyway, wherever you are on your journey, anything you want to say to the audience before you out of here?
Hold on, I think this is my good side. Anything that I would like to say, I would really love to say, listen, guys, the world is in an odd place. It's in an odd place, and there's so much information that we are privy to. But I think with AI, I think with social media, with everybody saying all the things all the time, we're not taking the care that we used to take to get to know one another, to sit down and have conversations and understand. Because I think the reason that we were able to progress so much as a society together was because we were aware of what one another was doing, and we took the time to learn, to understand, acknowledge, and improve. And what I would really, really, really suggest for everybody that's watching Miss Arlene, this episode and every other episode, is to take something, think about it, and figure out how you're going to integrate that into what it is that you do. Because I think every episode there's something incredibly valuable that can make your life better. And hopefully there were one or two things that you learned or that you were that you discovered that can help you on your life's journey. That's all I got.
I mean, I don't know how to add to that. Wherever you are in your journey, I hope that this conversation has helped you, and I hope you take Kardinal, Jason's words to heart and listen to the conversations. We love having them. We love having you included in them, and we hope you feel like you were sitting on a chair right beside us. So good luck on your journey, and we'll see you next time on Arlene is Alone.
That's right.